This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
Alright, match 2. Hopefully I can find this stupid deck. Okay. Legacy. Goblins. I really hate this bug. Right, I think that's it. If it's not, I'll just ask him to restart. It's extremely annoying. So yeah, Rishadan Port, really good. Worth its 57 tickets price. There's a lot of interesting times when you can port them, especially versus miracles. I think it can be more often correct to port them during your upkeep, so they can't just tap top willy-nilly during your combat step or during your main phase to get your guys. Also, porting fetches can be correct. Yes, I would like to play first. This hand's a little bit awkward, but I'm going to keep. It has 2 land disruption spells, which are huge versus him. So I'm going to fetch for Badlands, then play Port on turn 2. Hope that my Lackey connects. And I think it's also important to note, I'm like 60% sure that Reid doesn't like Forcible that much in this matchup because it's mostly an attrition matchup. And yeah, there's a few spells you have to counter, like this one or Vial. But I think, well, it happened this time. But I think most of the time, it's not going to come up enough. Especially since I have caverns and stuff, that he'll want to do that. Maybe he's got Dazed by this point. We haven't seen him the past 3 games, but we'll find out. Top land tax. Oof. So this is awkward. Alright, I think I'm gonna wait to try to draw an Aether Vial, which might not be right, but I want to see how this line of play works out. I'm gonna discard a mountain, probably. That's unfortunate. Sigh. God damn it, Reid. So for those of you at home, what Reid's probably gonna do, even if I play land, is just crack that fetch and fail to find. It's very annoying. I think I just have to give him some lands. I'm like 90% sure he's going to do this. Yep. Well, now that I've let him tax once, if he taxes again, he'll just have to discard a bunch. So, I'm just going to start firing spells out and seeing what happens. So I'm not sure if I'm supposed to just play lands or not. Lands or not out. Let's see how many times he taxed. He might just tax for one. He might not tax at all. Yeah, he just taxed for one. Makes sense to me. Swords. Alright. I will play Senor Goblin Matron. I was supposed to play another red source. That was just very bad, actually. Yep, not playing red source was extremely bad. He'll tax once again. Explosives for 0. Don't really like that play on his part. But at the same time, I think he just doesn't want to have to discard. I should bash him for one first. Matron. I think I will get Goblin Ringleader. I'm gonna port his white source upkeep. Yeah, still right to do it. In case if he finds a terminus. Wait, what happened? Oh, he just let it be tapped. I see. just want to draw all of my Rishadan Ports. Is that too much to ask for? Does he not have another white source in his hand from taxing? Would be weird. Nah, there it is. Jace. Okay. So, depending on what he does, I may be able to kill him this turn. Oh no, I can't. I guess Reid probably counted for that. Let's play a Goblin Ringleader though, and bash him for 4. Lackey, not exciting. He's probably found the entreat by now, but even still, if I port him, that gives him less mana to entreat for. It doesn't tax. Terminus. Okay. They did their job. Pit seals himself. Alright, Wort is Plains upkeep. And he tops. It's fine. All out. He forces that one. I was hoping he wouldn't, so I could sneak in the Lackey. But that was too much to ask for. Cavern is really good versus him, actually. He's probably gonna just draw 3 lands now. I can't imagine that he wouldn't, unless there's not enough lands in his deck. I guess there might not be. Discarded one at some point? Does this say no? Well, so that tell, which is Moto only, is he either has a Terminus or an Entreat in his hand. It's kind of stupid, but like, he's just too lazy to have a stop there every single time. It's more likely to be well, it's still more likely to be a Terminus. 2, 3, 4, 5. Entreat doesn't kill me. So I guess I just see if it's Terminus here. If it's Entreat, this attack is pretty bad, but I don't think I'm beating Entreat anyways. Oh, I should have let him block first. That was bad. Because that one's just going to block. Or what? I guess the result's the same anyways. Probably dead. He attacks for 16, bait seals me. It's always demoralizing when they leave on top. 6. Yep. He doesn't even have to attack for 16, and in fact that's actually really bad to do so. Badlands. Matron. Did all my Warchiefs die? Oh no, there's still one here. I'm actually still technically alive if he doesn't counter this. Alright, so we have one more turn. Oh wait, no. I'm still at 8. Okay, well, that won't do it. Alright, same board plan. Tarfire. Mogg War Marshal. Alright. Let's see. No, I would not like to keep that hand. I would like to keep this hand though. Lackey go. Swords? Does he have it? I mean, only one way to find out. No, you tricked me. That Reid Duke. So I'm gonna port him, end step, untap, play Warchief, and then Piledriver and hit him for a bunch. Seems fine. He's really tricked me there. Attack him for 5. Hope he doesn't have Terminus or anything. Would be much happier if he didn't have Terminus. Fetch land's not good for me either. O-ring. Don't like that either. And here's where Piledriver's sad. In for one. Don't know what he's thinking about here. Maybe he's talking about how sad Piledriver is as a lone 1-2. Has anti-exalted. Pro Blue is such a random ability on this. Although, I think it was designed to beat up on Psychotogs. Deep in the tank. Okay, well, his connection went out for a bit or something. Lackey, go. Port his... So... kind of want to port his island. Yeah, I'll do it. No, another island. Damn it. Let's see if I can attack him successfully. Take 4. This is 2-2 is not really doing anything for me. This puts him at dead next turn, I believe. That's 5, 6, 7, 8, yeah. So you can't Miracle in a treat for 2. Oh boy. Brainstorm. Huh. I wonder what this implies. I mean, time to attack, I guess. Not much else I can do. Hope he doesn't have anything. So he has Terminus? Port him, he just floats in response. I mean, not much I can do about that. Alright. bottom, bottom, bottom. He actually kind of wants me to draw Vial by this point. He doesn't really do very much. Alright, so he had the entreat. Sort of not good for me. I was like in Stingscourger 1. Yeah, just gonna Stingscourger 1 now. Ah, that's not good. Yeah, with all of his basics, Wasteland is a lot less good versus him, especially since he's willing to search up just basics and not get greedy at all. Alright, Vial on 2. Don't know. Kind of have to hope he doesn't have anything good for the rest of this game. That's not good, as the kids would say. Moat. Okay, that is definitely not good. Can't acquire any attackers. So I need to draw Siege Gang. Or Matron for Siege Gang. Not sure about this relic. Nope. Now I'm gonna be in the lock. Chieftain, get in there. Do what I have to do. Go to 8. Still Fate Seals me. He might just leave it on top no matter what. And I have no clue. But I basically just can't take that risk by this point. That's not good either. I have to peel Siege Gang this turn. And it kills him. It's going to be significantly harder to do that when he's looking at my top card every time. Alright. The Angel token got me, and he gets that match. That's more the way I expected this matchup to go. It's pretty hard to fight through, like... Sensei's Divining Top is, as I said, the best card in that deck easily. Alright, match 3. Let's see if I can navigate this. Alright, there we go. Goblins match 3. For all the marbles. I'll keep this hand. It's a little bit on the slow end, but he has some of our best cards versus him. Cavern and a few lands. A Wasteland if he plays a Tundra early. He mulligans. I will not. Ah, god damn it. Not one of these games. I think I'm just gonna give him the Ancestral this time and see what happens. Hopefully nothing bad. I would need to play a lot more matches versus that deck to figure out what's actually correct. For 2. I guess that's reasonable. Alright, let's get in there for 2 at least, and go from there. That does not seem ideal to just loot that many times. Alright, let's see what he's got here. No, I should still do this. But I don't really care if he counters a Lackey by this point. Alright, let's put another Ringleader into play. Is he really just whiffing on air balls over there? I mean, it seems pretty unlikely. Alright, Matron for driver and play Chieftain. And let's see what happens. No, I was supposed to play Chieftain off that thing. I guess he didn't really have anything. So, I think it probably is just correct to crack the land tax as soon as possible and just treat it like standstill. I guess it's pretty awkward that it took me that many games to figure that out. Tarfire, get out. Still back and forth on therapy, but I think it's probably worth it. This is a pretty sweet hand. Also, I'm almost sure he doesn't leave in land tax versus me now. Or, sorry, Force of Will. Matchup seems pretty close anyways. Alright. Oh, what? This is sort of baffling. I'm just probably not going to play lands this game because I don't actually need to. I think I can probably beat him with what I have on board. He didn't top. Well, let's see what he's got. Still have caverns. So he has Plow, Path, or Terminus in his top three. Or Plow and Path in his hand. And it looks like a Terminus. Oh, really? I guess that makes sense too. So he blocks Driver here and I Fanatic it post-combat? I guess he might block Lackey, actually. Yeah. It's fine. Here, let's put a Goblin Mogg Fanatic into play. This smells like a Terminus at some point. Or a Moat? He has his Moat? Yeah. God damn it. This is not ideal. Well, I have a plan still. It's just gonna be harder to execute. Alright, part of the plan is online. I'm gonna try to sharpshooter him to death. Like I have 4 turns to assemble a lethal sharpshooter, which is admittedly not many turns. Fate Seal himself. Right. So yeah, I just want to take up to 4, I think. The turn. Still hoping for no terminuses in my future. Ringleader. That's not ideal at all. Rishadan Port. I guess that's more reasonable. So I really want to draw Siege Gang or Sharpshooter. Although Terminus? Or he just really wanted that top card, I guess. That's 2 lands. Oh, he had another top in hand, I guess, when he did that. Need to find Siege Gang. To think about this one. It's probably land. No, it doesn't actually do anything. Or actually it might. We can start re-going Ringleaders. I would rather have everything in my yard because of Wort. I mean, it's pretty damn likely he has a plow in his hand by this point. But hey, maybe he won't have it. Put Wort into play. Nope, he had it. Oh well. It was worth hoping. God, this one of mode is such a beating. Nope, that'll do it for Dutch Boy. On to game 3. Still think I'm happy with my setup. I will keep this hand. It's a little bit sketchy, but like has Vial on one and Cavern of Souls, which is still really good versus him. Alright, well, joke's on him. I don't actually have any lands right now. Prospector, get in there. Just not gonna play the land. Didn't really want to give him the Ancestral if he just decided to crack his fetch and fail. Brainstorm. Piledriver, get in there. 3. Yeah. Attack. Get his white source, obviously. Swords to plowshares, okay. Goblin Warchief. Going to Goblin Matron. With the trigger on the stack, increment it. Although, he might just be dead, actually. I should probably figure that out. Alright, I'm going to just... let me count. So that's 1, 2, 3, I think he's just dead, actually. So I'll have sack that, Piledriver. I guess I should name Jace probably. Okay, click. Seven. Oh, did I mess it up? If I hadn't played that. Two. It's 552. This is now. Oh, that's kind of gross. Well, this is 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I guess I'll just put them to 3. I'm going to flashback and hit click, actually. Sacking Matron. God damn. Let's pop entry, Jace, Trinket. So I'm thinking about whether I should port him on upkeep or not. I think I will. I'm gonna sack Prospector. Yep. There's a turn miss that I expected. So I'm gonna Matron for Ringleader, put him to 1. And he can't have a... Oh, he could have Click in his hand by this point. And this is sort of awkward. Oh, Needle. That's not good. So the question is, do I Violin Wort at his end step and see if it kills him? Or do I Matron for Ringleader? I think Violin and Wort is actually better. So we'll go with that. This hand is top entry, so he has to find... I think he has a Terminus in his hand too, because he had a momentary pause in the draw step again. And then Matron. Top. Alright. So I will return Goblin Matron. Yes. Let's see if he's dead, I guess. Attack. Oh, and that is a fear guy for you. So, that's a matchup. The games were very interesting. That last game in particular was pretty interesting. There were a bunch of small decisions we had. I'm not sure that I actually like Cabal Therapy versus him now, having played the matchup a bunch. So, I just had a brief chat with Reid about those games. The games were pretty interesting, I feel. The matchup seems very, very close. In a few of the games he got mana screwed, which is basically a death knell for his deck versus Goblins, especially if I draw Rishadan Port. I'm not sure about Cabal Therapy, as I mentioned. I think it might actually just be bad versus him. I have a lot of dead cards to take out, so that's why I brought it in, but I think maybe just leaving in some of the weaker goblins might be correct. His scariest cards are Moat and Entreat the Angels. I think besides that, I don't really care that much about any of them. Top is good, but I think just trying to answer a top with a therapy is kind of mediocre, because he has so many ways to set up the top of his deck anyways, between Jay's top and Brainstorm. Besides that, I think it's a grind fest. You have to figure out how many creatures you can afford to commit to the board into a Terminus to make him Terminus. Or often I think just attacking for 2 over and over without committing more guys is correct, because then that forces him into a position to use Terminus as a 1-for-1, which is not really where he wants to be. At the same time, if you give him too much time, he'll just make a massive Entreat the Angels and kill you. So there's that pretty delicate balancing act. Besides that, I also think you can afford to keep a lot of one-landers versus him, especially if they have a Lackey or Vial, because post-board especially, I don't think he left in too many counters because they're not very good versus Goblins in general, especially with Cavern of Souls in the deck. So there is that. Also, Rishadan Port has a lot of different times it can be used, so just like consider tapping, draw step, tapping end of turn, tapping during his upkeep is an obvious one. Tapping during your own upkeep is a less obvious one that I think should probably come up more, but people haven't really thought about it. And well, that's Goblins vs. Miracles. I think it's pretty much a 55-45% matchup for him, but it's close enough that the quality of hands matters a huge deal. Anyways, if you have any questions about this Goblins list or about the matchup versus Miracles, I'll try to answer them for you. And if you have any desire to see other videos, just let me know and I'll try to make it happen. Thanks for watching.